Good evening. This is Attorney Hazel Escanan, Cebu Lady Lawyers Association member. Welcome to tonight's show. This is CCTN Channel 47. This is a TV program in partnership with CELIA or Cebu Lady Lawyers Association. Tonight, my co-host is Attorney Jizza Raagas. Hi, Jizza. Good evening.
Good evening, Hazel. Hi, good evening to our viewers. My name is Attorney Jizza Raagas and I'm a member of Cebu Lady Lawyers Association.
So it is our privilege to have with us Agent Edge Anonuevo from the NBI Cybercrime Division. He came all the way from Metro Manila just to be with us tonight. He is currently the Investigation Agent 1 of NBI. So, Attorney Jai, we will speak in Tagalog.
Yes, Attorney Hayes, we have to speak Tagalog this time around. So I'm asking you a question. Is your Tagalog fluent?
We will find out now. So, he will speak to us tonight on the salient provisions of the Cybercrime Prevention Act or law. Since the law is very broad, we will only focus on the topic of cyber libel.
So welcome to the show, Agent Edge Anonuevo.
Good evening.
Good evening. So how are you tonight, sir?
I'm okay, feeling fine. Thank you for having me here.
And thank you for gracing our show tonight, and thank you for sharing your knowledge to us and our viewers on about Cybercrime Prevention Act. So hopefully we can have a good discussion about cybercrime law tonight.
So, this Cybercrime Prevention Act, can you give us a brief background on the law?
Actually, Republic Act 10175, and it is enacted by the year 2012. It's the law which primarily deals with the enforcement of cybercrime offenses.
Since you mentioned on the cybercrime offenses,
Yes.
so if we read the law, it is stated there that there are actually 14 crimes or 14 offenses that are covered.
Yes.
So can we enumerate some of the?
Well, the 14 offenses scattered through Republic Act 10175 is illegal access, illegal interception, data interference, system interference, misuse of devices, squatting, computer-related forgery, computer-related fraud, computer-related identity theft, cybersex, child pornography. We also have cyber libel and aiding or abetting and attempt to commit cybercrime.
So, Sir Edge, is it okay to
Yeah,
address
sure.
you as
Yes.
Sir Edge? Is there a definite definition of a cybercrime?
Yeah, well, actually, the law defined cybercrime by way of enumeration as found under Section 4 of Republic Act 10175. And among this enumeration, it divided the cybercrime offenses into three major group of offenses, namely under offenses against confidentiality, integrity, and availability of computer data. Second is computer-related offenses, and the third is computer content-related offenses.
Okay, so can we say, sir, that the definition on cyber, which is found in Section 4 of RA 10175, can we say that it is related to the one which is found in the revised penal code? Or is it the same or somewhat related?
They're actually under Republic Act 10175. Offenses committed through the traditional means as defined and penalized under revised penal code can be aggravated by the use of ICT, what we call ICT, Information and Communication Technology. So that's found under Section 6 of Republic Act 1175.
Among the crimes that are enumerated in the law, sir, is cyber law the one that's, can we say that there are more complaints filed?
Yeah, definitely. With the advent of social media, particularly, we are receiving more and more cases. Actually, our latest statistics reveal that we have like around 2,000 to 3,000 cases just for the year 2018, ma'am.
2,000?
Yes, attorney.
So as compared to before the advent of the law, there were no like
There were already violations, but these are not reported to us. That's why we cannot act on these cases.
So, Sir Edge, among the listed offenses under the Cybercrime Prevention Act, which of the offenses is more prevalent?
Actually, it is cyber libel under Section 4C4 of Republic Act 10175, which it takes up like 70% of the cases which we receive on a daily basis.
That's quite a lot of cases.
Since you are working with NBI, sir, can you give us some of your experiences, sir, or like are you hands-on in the process of filing complaints?
Yes, actually we are we are the frontliners, and under our Modernization Act, actually the National Bureau of Investigation has the primary jurisdiction over investigation of cybercrime cases. That's why there are a lot of cases that are filed, but there are more cases that are not reported to our office.
Okay. So is NBI working hand in hand with the Philippine National Police, sir?
In some cases, we do cooperate with the Philippine National Police, attorney.
Can you give us like a brief or like an overview of the procedure, sir? Like what one should do if like I want to file a complaint? Is the process like, do I go to the prosecutor's office? An overview or the process, sir, to someone with no knowledge of.
Well, what we do is we initially interview the complainants to our office, and we evaluate the allegations thereon alleged by the complainant. If the allegations meet the requirements set forth under the revised penal code, if it constitutes a cyber libel offense, then we admit the case, and then after that we initially coordinate with the social media provider. For instance, Facebook, we coordinate with Facebook law enforcement portal so that we can preserve the reported content.
The filing of the complaint, is it limited only filing the complaint before the NBI office, or is it possible also to file it before the office of the prosecution?
As the current circumstances stand today, the city prosecutor's office, what they do is they refer the case to our office before the actual case prosper, before it can be filed with the city prosecutor's office. So the NBI and the PNP receive most of the cases before it can be filed with the city prosecutor's office.
So you say if someone files a complaint
Yes,
in the prosecutor's office, it will be referred back to
Yes, the
NBI?
reason for this is to authenticate the actual author of the libelous post. For instance, in libel cases, that's the purpose for the referral to our office, to authenticate whether or not the subject or the respondent is the actual author of the reported content.
Is it necessary for the NBI or for the PNP to secure a search warrant first before you could pursue or before you could secure or procure the evidences online or the electronic data?
It really depends on the offenses involved, attorney. So, for instance, if the actual evidence is acquired during a lawful arrest, lawful search and seizure, what we do is we apply for a warrant to examine computer data found under Administrative Matter 11-17-03 as promulgated by the Supreme Court. So the purpose for that is for us to have authority to conduct forensic examination over the seized evidence.
I see.
So what is, as to the admissibility of evidence, what is the effect if the electronic data was procured without search warrant?
Again, it depends on the manner of seizing of the evidence. If the evidence was seized pursuant to a valid arrest, then we to confer admissibility over such evidence, what we do is to apply for a warrant to examine computer data. In other cases, the fruit of poisonous tree doctrine applies.
Nice also. So, Sir Edge, for example, so we have this scenario. What if the case has already been filed before the office of the prosecutor? So from the NBI, it has been referred back to the office of the prosecutor. What if in such instance the office of the prosecutor dismissed such complaint under cyber libel? How we're talking about cyber libel here. So can the same person, like the affiant, the complainant, can he still file a libel case under our revised penal code?
Yes, the complainant can still file a libel case under the revised penal code because as found under Section 7, I think, the filing of cybercrime offense does not preclude the filing of other criminal actions found under other penal laws.
So it cannot be considered like any double jeopardy
Double
or
jeopardy.
anything.
Yeah, it does not. So
No,
that's
it
very
does not. It does
insightful.
not.
That's
Yes.
very insightful, Sir Edge.
Because we were like discussing before the program that if let's say I file a complaint in the prosecutor's office and then if it will be dismissed, I will file a case under the revised penal code. We were thinking, what if it could be considered as like double jeopardy?
In fact, most of the offenses found under Cybercrime Prevention Act are related to other special penal laws. We have the provisions on child pornography, which is also found in Republic Act 10175. And then also we have the provisions on cybersex, which can be attributed to anti-human trafficking violations.
Thank you so much for that, Sir Edge. So we have to cut short, so we need to take a break from our program. Welcome back to our program. So this is Jizza, Attorney Jizza again. So previously we have discussed about the brief background of the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012 as well as the listed offenses under the Cybercrime Act. And we also have a brief discussion on the cyber libel. So Attorney Hayes, we can continue with our part 2.
Okay.
Sir Edge.
So sir, can we discuss on the jurisdiction over cybercrime offenses? Like what court has jurisdiction?
Actually, it depends on the offenses involved. If, for example, it is a cyber libel offense, I once attended a case under the Metropolitan Trial Court having jurisdiction over the said case because it was filed under under the revised penal code violation. It merely alleged the use of ICT. to aggravate the offense. Then, for cases like child pornography, cybersex operation, illegal access, illegal interference, the regional trial court will have jurisdiction over the cases.
So, because when I read the law, I saw there that it is the regional trial court, so it depends on the crimes.
It would refer to the application for the requisite search warrants or warrants involved, because actually we have 4 types of cyber warrants found under the administrative matter 17-11-03. We have, for instance, warrant to intercept computer data. We have the warrant to search, seize, and examine computer data. We have also warrant to disclose computer data, and the warrant to examine computer data. Now, if we're talking about warrants, the most pervasive among them is the warrant to intercept computer data, because it concerns the actual privacy, intrusion to the privacy of a subject. It is actually the least used and is used commonly for terrorism cases
Okay.
and issues of national security.
So can we say that that is one of the exceptions of the Data Privacy Act, sir? The warrant to intercept.
In a way, yes, because precisely we have to secure a court order to enforce the interception of computer data.
Okay.
And then in relation to data privacy, we also have the warrant to disclose computer data, which are enforced against the service providers. That would be our internet service providers like Globe, Smart, PLDT. And what it does is it discloses to the law enforcement authorities the information which they collect in their operation of providing the actual service. Like, for instance, the subscriber information, billing address, the actual content. In some instances, we can have it disclosed, provided we had secured a warrant to disclose computer data.
So, Sir Edge, we're talking about cyber warrants, no?
Yes.
So, who can issue cyber warrants? Is it different from the ordinary court search warrants that's issued by the court?
Yes, with respect to the issuing authority, the Supreme Court designated special cybercrime courts, wherein the application for cybercrime warrants are acted upon.
So, sir, in cases like there are regional trial courts that has no designated cybercrime courts. So,
Yes,
in
ma'am.
such case, Sir Edge, who can issue? Can the regular court issue the cyber warrant?
The regular court, if a certain jurisdiction has no designated cybercrime warrant, cybercrime court.
Yes.
In actual practice, the Office of the Executive Judge designates the Special Cybercrime Court in the absence of such designation.
So that means, Sir Edge, that the NBI cannot issue the cyber warrants, or
No,
you don't
ma'am.
have a special.
No, ma'am.
So it's the court.
It's
the
only
cyber-
the Special Cybercrime
cybercrime
Court.
court. Okay, thank you for that, Sir Edge.
So there are you mentioned that there are special cybercrime courts that will be designated, sir. So how about if the crime happens here in Cebu City? Where are the special courts?
We have one here in Cebu City.
Yes, sir.
Actually, in one of our cases, we have actually filed here in Cebu City. I just don't remember the actual branch number.
I think it's the branch RTC branch 11. I think it's the commercial court. I think
Mm.
I think they have. I heard they have a pending cyber libel case. I think so.
Mm.
So maybe that's
So it may be also designated as a special cybercrime
court,
court.
yes.
Okay. So in Manila, sir, where is the? It is in NBI Ermita, Manila, sir. Am I correct? Is it located there?
The what?
NBI. If ever I file a complaint, if I
Yeah,
live in Manila.
in our office, we accept the complaints coming from our complainants in our office in NBI Cybercrime Division. Our address is at Ermita, Manila.
Okay. So, since we mentioned on the jurisdiction, sir, does it matter where the place of the commission of the crime was committed, sir? So, like, example, there's like a Facebook poster. Does it matter if, let's say, I'm in Cebu City, and then let's say I can give a particular example. So if I post like malicious or derogatory remark on against Attorney Jizza, like let's say that I say that you are a liar, and then I type the Facebook post in Cebu City, does the place of the commission matter, sir? Where as to the jurisdiction where to file the complaint?
Yes, attorney, it matters. The rule on filing of criminal cases will also apply in filing cybercrime cases, ma'am.
Okay, so can you like the example I said earlier, sir? Can we give like the process as to how I can file, or like how Attorney Jizza can, let's say, file a complaint against me if she thinks or she knows that I am the one who posted such malicious poster? Like what does Attorney Jizza have to do? Like if she has to take a screenshot or
initially
do something?
she has to capture screenshots of the alleged malicious content, and then thereafter she has to allege the damage caused to her in her formal complaint affidavit, because the thing about libel is it is very subjective, ma'am. So what may be libelous for one may not be libelous for another. So that's why the complainant has to personally allege in his or her complaint affidavit why such reported content is malicious. And then after that, she has to file it before our office and for us to conduct our investigation.
So, Sir Edge, Facebook nowadays can be accessed anywhere, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, where can I particularly file? Like, what if I have accessed it somewhere in Cebu, but the one who posted it is in Manila? But because this is cyber libel, everyone can see it, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
anywhere can be accessed. So where should I file?
You can file it in your jurisdiction, attorney, because following the rule on filing of criminal actions, we have to consider also that cybercrime, cyber libel, in your instance, is a borderless crime.
Yes, yes.
So the rule on territoriality will still apply, and in your case, it can be filed with Cebu, because assuming you're from here.
Cebu, yes. So can it be said, Sir Edge, that the crime actually happened in Cebu, since I have access the said libelous remarks on Cebu? Can it be said that the crime happened in Cebu City? Since this is like a borderless crime, right?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, the safer answer is we have to actually wait for the courts to actually hear on the matter and settle whether it will constitute it happened here in your jurisdiction, ma'am.
I see. That's very insightful, Sir Edge.
What if, sir, the violator or the one who posted the libelous or malicious comment is not in the Philippines, sir? So let's say he or she is in the U.S., sir. So how do I file a complaint against the violator?
Yeah, it depends actually on the nationality of the author of the reported content. For instance, if the subject is a Filipino, the case will still prosper if filed here in the Philippines. But if the subject is a foreigner, then we have to coordinate with our foreign counterparts for the investigation of the case.
So, since we're talking about that, Sir Edge, is it necessary that the country the foreign national belongs to, is it necessary that they also have this same cybercrime law, or?
In a way, yes, because we have this Budapest Convention, which we are fortunately a signatory thereof. It's a convention seeking, it's a treaty, it's an instrument seeking to harmonize differences in the cybercrime laws of the participant nations. So if you're a participant there too, it makes the coordination a lot easier.
So I am actually reading Section 21 as to the jurisdiction, and it states here that jurisdiction shall lie if any of the elements was committed within the Philippines or committed with the use of any computer system wholly or partly situated in the country, or when by such commission any damage is caused to a natural or juridical person who at the time of the offense was committed was in the Philippines. So again, as to the what if the violator is committed in abroad, but can we say that the elements were really within the
The criminal case will prosper here, but the challenge is bringing over the actual perpetrator here. So that's where the Budapest Convention comes
So that's
in.
the one you mentioned
Earlier, yes.
Okay, sir. So did we mention about the pressing of the like button?
Yes. So, good thing you mentioned that, Attorney Hayes,
Yes.
because, like nowadays,
In
Facebook,
yes.
Facebook is very,
We see a lot of sharing.
Reactions.
It's so easy to
Yes.
share, to
just
like, or
and make
heart,
some, yes,
angry
exactly.
face.
Exactly.
So is that can that also be considered as cyber libel, sir?
No, ma'am.
Or
Actually, also the sharing, the posting of a comment, liking or placing a whatever reaction on the
So
said post, if the same is not libelous in itself, it is not it cannot be considered as a libel.
So you said that if it is not, if someone likes a post that is not libelous, that is not covered by cyber libel. But how
Yes,
about
ma'am.
if it is a libelous comment or post, like let's
Yeah,
say I say like you are a liar, and then someone like my best friend likes it, and then someone files a complaint against me, is my best friend who likes the post also a violator?
The actual the actual reaction is not libelous. So we are settled on that.
Yes, yes.
Then but if the comment in itself is libelous, then it will count as a libelous offense.
So only the one
Who posted the
So if I
comment.
see like
That's good to
so,
hear.
yeah, that's good to hear. Like, if I see like
Sharing,
libelous
sharing
comment,
is not
It's not libelous.
libel.
It's not
Okay.
covered under the cyber
Yes, ma'am.
libel. Okay, that's good.
okay, so we have already talked a lot about cyber
Cyber
libel.
libel.
I think it's about time to have a break. Welcome back to our program. Again, this is Attorney Hazel Escanan. So our last discussion was about the jurisdiction over cybercrime offenses, and we also mentioned on the cyber warrant, the four kinds of cyber warrant, which are the warrant to intercept, warrant to search, warrant to disclose, and warrant to examine. And also, sir, you also mentioned about the Budapest Convention. Can you tell us about the convention?
The Budapest Convention actually is an instrument which seeks to harmonize the laws concerning the cybercrime offenses between the participating nations. And as of 2018, it has a total participant of 63 countries, among which is our country, the Philippines, which is in an observer state. From the very beginning, we were there together with the Council of Europe. And what it does is to efficiently and effectively promote the enforcement of cybercrime offenses.
Can you name a few countries that are signatory to the said convention, sir?
Most of the signatories are from Europe, which constitutes actually Germany is one. The US is also part of it. France, Spain, Belgium, mostly from European countries.
Okay. So if you say that there are 63 countries, sir, and it is the significance of this is that it is easier to coordinate with these countries in case there are violators who are located in such countries.
Among other purposes, attorney.
Can we talk about cyberbullying, sir? If this is somewhat related to cyber libel, because as we can see in the law, it was not really specifically mentioned. No,
Yes,
it was
yes,
not
yes.
in one of the enumeration.
Actually, there is, as of now, we have no legal recognition of what cyberbullying is. What we have is the anti-bullying law, which is which is concerned about the bullying incidents in mostly schools, educational institutions. But cyberbullying in general, we have no legal recognition yet. So what we do is we consider it as a cyber libel if the elements of libel, traditional libel, are present. Then that's the time that we consider it as cyber libel.
So if in case of, because I've heard some stories from friends that they have relatives who experience bullying in school. So in case like their relative experience such bullying, we can only prosecute if the elements of cyber libel are present.
From our experience, bullying in schools actually the most incidents of bullying in schools concern about the leakage of sexual content, and this is more I think that is the more pressing issue because if we are to give legal recognition to cyberbullying, we have to define what is its coverage, because it could be very broad.
Because in schools, let's say like there are classmates, and then since Facebook, Twitter, and other social media, it's very common nowadays, and then there may be classmates who like type like malicious remarks or posts in Facebook. So, and like we can consider it as cyberbullying already. So you said that we can only prosecute if the elements of cyber libel are present.
Yes, attorney. That's what we are trying to do now.
So, Sir Edge, if it is plain and simple cyberbullying, but it does not constitute, but it is not libelous, so we cannot prosecute that under as cyber libel, no?
For now, attorney.
For now, okay.
Okay.
So hopefully we can do
'Cause-
something about this one,
Yeah.
no? The cyberbullying.
Because what if one kid bullies another kid, but it's not really libelous, but of course it can hurt the feelings of the other kid.
So, but this can be prosecuted under the anti-bullying law, but not under
Under
the
the-
cybercrime law.
Yes, attorney.
Okay.
Okay. So what if, sir, the violator use a fake account? Then he can easily deny that I'm not the one who posted such post or
Yes.
comment. So how do we deal on that?
That actually constitutes two criminal aspects. We have the computer-related identity theft, and then it depends on the allegation in the offense involved, whether it is a libel. Sometimes it can be used to commit fraud. Others, it can be used to send death threats, grave threat contents. So depending on the offenses involved, we effect investigative techniques which we deem appropriate thereon.
So you said the identity theft. That's the one that you mentioned, ICT, sir. Identity content theft.
Computer-related
Ah, okay.
identity theft.
So is identity theft one of the 14
ma'am.
crimes?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am, under content-related offenses.
So if the
computer-related offenses.
Okay. So if the violator use a fake account, it will not be under cyber libel specifically. It's on the identity theft.
There may be two criminal violations or fraud.
Okay. So it could be identity theft
and
or fraud. Or fraud.
Yes, attorney.
So one does not preclude the other.
Yes,
so it could be
attorney.
both simultaneously. Oh, that's good.
So is the URL of the post essential or necessary in the prosecution of cyber libel?
Yes, with respect to social media, with respect to offenses committed through the use of social media, we rely on the URL, the Uniform Resource Locator of the subject account for our investigation. So because that is the identifier of the subject account.
How do we get such URL, sir?
It's actually can be captured under our address bar. If you notice in our interface in our web browser, we have there the address bar. We just have to take a screenshot of the web browser
The web browser.
with the specific URL concerned.
How about downloading online movies or songs or like such as
From
torrent
torrent, that's very
or
very
is
common.
Yeah, that is actually the
Is that
one of
covered by the law, sir?
Well, not specifically under 10175, but under our intellectual property laws. It can be in relation to Cybercrime Prevention Act. It can be prosecuted.
So it's,
So
it's a special
it's
law.
another special law.
It's
Yes,
a special
ma'am.
law.
Special law.
So watch out for those who illegally download torrent movies.
Or you can
songs.
subscribe to Netflix if you
Ayan.
want. You have to subscribe every month.
So you work in the office of the National Bureau of Investigation. So can you discuss us briefly what are the responsibilities of NBI in the implementation of the cybercrime law?
As to enforcement of the law.
Well, our primary duty and function is to investigate on cybercrime-related offenses and other special penal laws which may be committed through the use of ICT, what we call ICT, no? So, in that respect, in that regard, we also handle cases concerning credit card fraud, child pornography, cyber sex operations, even drug operations committed through the use of ICT. We can also investigate those cases. And also as cybercrime investigators, it is also part of our job to advocate cybersecurity because it comes with our job to promote the safe and harmless environment, online environment.
Will there be any confusion, sir, if like NBI and also the PNP, they both have jurisdiction as to investigating such crimes, sir?
As to the confusion part, we have to remember that under our Modernization Act, the NBI has primary jurisdiction over cybercrime cases. And we can take cognizance of the cases even if other law enforcement authorities are acting upon it.
So, concurrent.
But the NBI is
primary,
but we can work hand in hand
Hand
with
with the
our
PNP.
brothers in the PNP and other law enforcement agencies.
So, previously, sir, we discussed about securing evidences, right?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
can you please tell our viewers how long the data preservation?
Under Republic Act 1175, again, the preservation period is for a period of 6 months, subject to extension. So what we do is, if the 6 month period will already expire, we write a preservation request. We send a preservation request to the service provider concerned for them to preserve the reported data, the subject computer data, until further notice. We also encounter child porn operations, cybersex operations, and it's good that we have the provision for cybersex under RA 10175 because the actual provision actually penalizes the willful act of engaging in the cybersex operations. Because if you remember, we also have the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act,
Yes.
which concerns human trafficking.
Yes.
And as we all know, human trafficking violations are most of the time forced victims, forced into prostitution, into human trafficking. So with this provision, it also covers those individuals engaged in the cybersex operations.
Cybersex offenses, Sir Edge. Is consent necessary for this one? How about for those who,
No, it's not.
It's not,
It's actually particularly indicated in the provision that the willful act of engaging in the operation of cybersex.
So, can we also say that those who without consent take videos like for sexual engagements without the consent of their partner, can we also say that is it also safe to say that it can be covered under cybersex?
If the one of the actors in the video
Yes.
that has no consent,
Yes, and someone just
that will be covered under another special penal law.
so this is separate.
Yeah, which is Republic Act 9995. That's our Anti-Photo and Video Voyeurism Act of 2009. If you remember, the
Ay.
Katrina Halili law.
Yes, I remember that with Hayden Ko, right?
Hayden Ko. So, sir, thank you for your time. And we also appreciate that you flew all the way from Manila just to be with us tonight and discuss the Cybercrime Prevention Act.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you also, and we're very honored to be part of your show. And the best of luck to both of you. And to your
Hopefully,
show.
in the future, if we can discuss
More about the cybercrime offenses, we can invite you again for
anytime, attorneys.
So, thank you so much for imparting your knowledge to us for tonight. We learned a lot, and hopefully our viewers also have learned a lot from this discussion.
The internet primarily is it is created for a good purpose.
Yes.
It is only now that it is used for some other
Some other
purposes.
Willful interest, yes.
So, to all our viewers, thank you for tuning in to our program, and you may like or subscribe to our Facebook
May even share.
page and share. Anyway, there's no harm because it is not libelous. So we can hopefully you can like our Facebook page, the Cebu Lady Lawyers Association page. So hopefully you can continue to support our program, the Partners in Law. Attorney Jai.
Again, this is Attorney Jizza Raagas. Thank you so much for watching our program tonight, as well as thank you so much, Attorney Sir Edge. So to our viewers,
Thank you again.
daghang salamat.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Daghang salamat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Salamat.